Hi there, welcome to the Pine Cottage. My name is Nicole. This is where I talk about knitting, reading, my life, living my life. I feel like we have a wonderful community as it is, and I have dropped the ball again on recording. I think we all need a break sometimes, and I think it's important to listen to your body and to your mind when you need to rest. And so I did that. And I'm sure it will happen again. If that's okay with you and you are here when I'm here, then keep watching. Today, I am not at home. Tony and I have taken a trip, which we started doing last year for our 15th wedding anniversary. So this year we decided to come back again to the same place, and it is beautiful and snowing outside, and it's very cold. It's only like 12 degrees today. So I am inside. He ran to the store, and I am knitting and crocheting and relaxing, and I just thought that I would record a little bit for you guys today. The rest of this podcast will probably be recorded at home because there's some other things that I left there that I wanted to show you, but I'll just show you what I'm working on while I'm here and chat with you a little bit about what has been happening so far in 2025. I hope you guys all had a great new year. I was pretty quiet towards the end of the year. I was just wanting to spend some time at home with the family and the kids and just enjoying the holiday season, and I hope that you all did the same. And now I am trying to clear away the things that I don't need this coming year and try to determine what I want to focus my energy on. I did not do a whole lot of gift knitting in 2024. I don't know, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do for 2025, if I'm going to knit socks again or not. I have quite a few pairs of socks that I need to finish, and I just feel like wrapping up loose ends. I also think maybe I'm going to institute a no-buy policy for myself for 2025. I really don't need to buy any more yarn because I have plenty, and there are so many projects that I've chatted about on here that I want to try to make, and I just haven't done it, whether I don't have the time or I just get preoccupied or pulled away by something else that's pretty and I want to do that instead. So I just want to really focus on knitting down my stash and finishing the projects that I already have yarn for. I just feel like that is the most responsible thing to do, and I don't want to be wasteful, and there really are so many things that I want to knit. So that is my plan for 2025. And while I've been here, it's been kind of a scrappy project trip. I have not felt the urge to knit on socks really. As I said, there's a couple that I've already started, one of which was my Christmas socks that I didn't finish, and I really don't feel like finishing them now, so I haven't worked on those. The other pair is my Hermione everyday socks that I was knitting on some Knit Picks tweed yarn, and I haven't picked those up either. So I will show you what I have decided to work on. And they are both crochet projects. And I have not crocheted in so long that it just feels kind of nice to get back to it. And it just feels like a true vacation from knitting. Not that I don't love knitting, I do, but sometimes you just need a break and to go back to the basics. And I did make a post about that on Instagram, that's what I feel like this coming year is going to be about for me. Just simplifying and just getting back to who I really am and being simple and not making life too complicated. I want to, fit in little pockets of rest in my time and to make my life more simple, not more complicated. I want to make sure that when I'm scheduling my life, I'm scheduling in times of rest, as I said, and times of quiet, and just really focusing on balancing that. Okay. I pulled out of the depths of my yarn cabinet dresser. A couple of my scrappy projects. At first I got nervous because I had done some cleaning and I couldn't find my Battenberg blanket, and I got really nervous, but then I did find it. This project bag that I sewed myself, and it is a nice large like sweater sized bag with a nice leather strap, and the inside looks like that. And it is full of little minis that I've collected and kind of curated, especially for this blanket, because this blanket is a lot of earthy tones, browns, but a lot of like rose colors. So this is full of minis. Here's some that I've just set aside that are going to go into this blanket. And, you know, when I get to them, I will just hand wind them. But in between those colored squares then are just this color. This is Muse fingering weight yarn from Knit Picks. And it's just bare. And it's 423 yards for one 100 gram skein, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. So this yarn is what all of the plain granny squares will be. And I know I've shown this before on here, but it's been a while, so this is my Battenberg. And you can see down here, I've just kind of clipped those on. I haven't sewed them yet, but I'm getting there. So far while I've been here, I've crocheted this one, and I just finished another one and started on a third, which is where I'm sitting on it. So this is the second one, and I have just started this little baby third one. So I'm just going to continue crocheting these plain squares until I finish this ball, which I may do on this third square. It may be finished because this is all I have left of that skein. And then I'll move on to that new skein. Or I'll do some more colored ones and I'll just hand wind them. And that's kind of what I've been doing when I have some downtime in between hanging out with Tony. You know, we're playing some games and cards, and I don't know if we're gonna do any hiking because there is snow everywhere, and I think the hiking trails are probably covered. But tomorrow we're gonna venture out down into the caves to see if we can do some hiking, and there's some waterfalls down there. So I wanna see if they are frozen over or if we can actually see some water falling. The other thing that we are doing is we brought all our own food, and these cabins are so nice because they're fully equipped with everything you could possibly need to cook in the cabin so that you don't have to leave if you don't want to. So they have all the pots and pans and utensils, everything you could possibly want. They have a blender for smoothies, even though we did bring our Vitamix because I did not remember that they had that. I did prep a lot of our food before we came because I am being very strict on my whole food plant-based diet. I talked before about how I went plant-based several years ago, but that I am a big cheater. And I got my labs drawn at the end of the year, and I am a ticking time bomb. Very much at risk for having a cardiac event, so I need to be very strict. So for the past month, I have kept my oils very low, and I'm eating whole food, plant-based, which I have determined that I'm going to have to do for the rest of my life. I know people are very passionate about the diets that they choose, and everyone has their opinions about what they think is appropriate for the human body versus what's not. I will say that I am not a physician, but I will also say that I've done a lot of research and I've done a lot of experimenting with my own body. I think it's really important to know how your body works, and I have tested many different types of diets to see how my body responds to them. And being someone who has a genetic cardiovascular, hypercholesterol, hypertriglyceride body and has that genetic component, this diet is the most healthy for me. I have tried low carb, high fat. I've tried keto, Atkins, whatever, where it's more meats and less carbs. And I'm telling you, for my body, carbs are not the enemy. And I have brought my cholesterol down with this diet before without medication, and that is my goal to do it again. I really do not want to be on a statin, so this is my way of taking control of my health, and it may not be for everyone, but like I said, I've experimented with all the other ways, and all the other ways are trying to kill me. So I'm going to do this. Having said all that, I am really working on getting my health to where it needs to be. I have lived part of my life being very thin, but on the inside, I was very unhealthy. I have had cholesterol problems and high triglycerides since I was 20 years old. So this is not new. This is been something that I've struggled with for a very long time, no matter what size I am. And now it's time to be healthy from the inside out. And so I'm really working on it. Tony has decided to support me by joining me in this process. So I may be talking about different recipes or things that we're doing just because it's just a huge part of my life right now. I have to cook everything at home. I can't eat out. It's very difficult for me to eat outside of the house. I have to pack everything with me. And because of that, it's just very much on my mind all the time. Like, am I prepared? That's like the biggest thing. Do I have what I need to eat for the next meal? Because I don't want to be hungry and I don't want to have to eat something that's going to hurt me. I have 2 kids to raise. I can't afford to have a heart attack. Maybe some of you are in the same boat where you have this genetic component for cardiac issues and you want to try this as well to bring your numbers down. So one person that I follow is Plantiful Kiki, and her name is Kiki Nelson, and she has written 2 cookbooks which are phenomenal. She cooks very simple meals that taste delicious that even Tony likes, because he is picky when it comes to vegan meals. He's like, oh, this is bland, or this doesn't really taste like anything. I'd rather have the real thing. But with her recipes, he is like, that's delicious. Make that again. This is called Plantifully Lean. As you can see, I've marked so many of the recipes. I've spilled things on it and the pages are crinkled and one of them's falling out. But I use it every day. There are wonderful salad dressing recipes in here and like cheese sauces that if you're not someone who loves vegetables, you can put it on your vegetables and make them palatable. And if you have kids, there are yummy recipes that you don't even have to tell the kids that they are plant-based recipes and they will eat them. So my kids particularly like they're like tostadas, or they're like bean burritos with like crunchy corn tortillas on the inside and a flour tortilla on the outside, and they think they're eating Taco Bell, and it's actually healthy and good for them. So that is a weekly meal. That's our Taco Tuesday meal. The other scrappy project, I know I'm jumping around, that I'm working on while I'm here is my granny stripe blanket, which I feel like I showed pretty recently, but I'm almost done with this. I feel like I really don't have that much to go. So when I'm done, I'm not repeating any colors in the Battenberg blanket, which I probably should, but I'm just doing 1 square of each color and then I'm putting that yarn into here. So probably I will end up starting another one of these soon because this one's almost done. And that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, I will be done with this soon. And then the Hermione everyday socks that I talked about, they're sitting right here, so I'll just show you. I'm past the heel. I don't have that much more to go on the first sock. I can start the second one. Other than my health and scrappy projects and being on a little trip, the other things that I have to talk to you about are at home.
Where I had sometimes played chess, and when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream on to someday find that vintage love.
My kitchen is a mess. I don't go to bed with a clean kitchen, much to the dismay of my husband. My brain doesn't work that way. I'm tired at the end of the day, and so I wake up to this mess that I have to clean on most days that I'm home and not working. So this is how I'm going to start my day, cleaning my kitchen, and then I can have my tea and breakfast and all the fun things. So yeah, I'm going to clean my kitchen. I'm also going to preheat my oven with my Dutch oven in there for my sourdough baking. Today is my baking day, so I need to do that right now.
The lights were dim as our eyes met and you saw me, and forevermore I'd like to share that vintage dream.
So one of the new things that I've been doing since I got my Vitamix for Christmas is I got a separate grain blade. Gotta find my towel. I ordered wheat berries from Azure Standard, and I've been grinding my own whole wheat flour for my sourdough, which is so fun and healthy, and it doesn't strip the proteins from your bread, which is amazing when you're whole food plant-based, because protein is one of those things people always say, how do you get your protein? I get plenty of protein, but this is just another way to ensure that I do get it. Great. So yeah, I just measure or weigh the weight berries for whatever I need for the bread, grind them up, and put them in my dough, and it's been great. The dough, I still do use organic all-purpose and organic bread flour as well. I use 3 different types of flour. I only use a small portion of whole wheat because it took a minute for my kids to eat, well, my son to even eat the bread, and I'm trying to transition to a 100% whole wheat bread slowly so that everybody is happy and continues to eat the bread. So I only put 1/3 of the flour is whole wheat, but I'm still moving in the right direction, I feel like. I'm having a love-hate relationship with my hair today. Maybe I just need to cut it. But then I always regret it when I cut it. But I don't like it anyway. Anyway I put it today, I'm just not liking it. So if you see it down or back or up, or if I shave it all off at some point during this video, that's how I'm feeling today. I just haven't felt the desire to share because I feel like I haven't done much and I don't want to bore you guys. But then I thought, you know what? You guys have become like friends, and sometimes you just have to check in, you know, and say hi. So here I am. It is March 19th, 2025, and I'm going to show you my knitting. This is so good and so warm. So spring isn't officially here until March 21st, so we have a couple days. Let's get started. I can't stop drinking this tea. It's so good. It's so warm and sweet. Let's talk some knitting. I'm gonna practice. I don't have any finished objects today. I will show you what I've been working on, which some of the things I've shown before, and a couple of them are kind of newish. So the first thing is, which I'm hoping to finish within the next day or two. I just haven't picked, like I'll do 4 rows and then I stop. It is a pair of socks, and this is in Knit Pick Stroll Tweed in Barn Door Heather. And this is a lovely, lovely yarn. The first sock is done, which I've shown you guys before. And the second one is almost done. I have the cuff and the leg and the heel, and I'm almost done with the foot. So, I mean, it's practically done. We could call it a finished object. I showed you guys back in January when Tony and I were on our little getaway that I was working on my Battenberg blanket. And since we came back, I have added in those squares and weaved in all the ends. So this is the portion of the blanket that's done, and it's so sweet, and I just want to finish it. So this is the one side. Whoop, sorry. This is the other side, and you can see how nicely they all wove together, and this is the back. So the back, you can tell it's the back. It has these raised edges, but I just love it so much. You can see a little bit more of it this way. I've continued to work on some squares to add into it. So I have a whole little pile here, and I'm just alternating colored squares with my neutral base color. It's just Bear. I think it's Knit Picks Hawthorne Bear. And I'm just alternating that with some colored squares. And this year for Christmas, I never showed you guys the final advent calendar that I ordered from Knotty Pine Fiber Company for 2024. And the colors are perfect for this project. And I was going to knit I don't know what it's called, by Laura Penrose. It looks like a quilt. And I was going to knit that with this, but when I pulled this project out to continue working on it, I thought, I can't. These colors are perfect for this blanket. So I actually am just winding up these minis as I go. And this is the advent calendar this year. And it's just the perfect thing for this project. I'm just going to crochet away on these little minis, and then I'll add in rows of squares, weave in the ends, and continue that way. It's easier for me to weave in the ends as I go because it would be a very daunting project to have to weave all those in at the end. So I've just been taking my time, weaving them in as I go, and it's just a really, really relaxing, enjoyable project. This is if you have not been here before, it's the Battenberg Blanket by Sandra at Cherry Heart. She has a crochet podcast. I don't know if she's still doing it, but she also has a website. I'll link it in the description box, but it's just a beautiful pattern. And I'm actually doing my squares larger than she does. Hers are very tiny little squares in her Battenberg blanket, and mine are 8 rounds. So I think it might be double. The squares might be double the size, or close to it. It's so yummy. A few more months of school left for my daughter, and I just can't wait for summer to be here. Summer is like our reset, where we are just together again and doing family things. And I feel like things are changing so fast. You know, she's going to be getting a job this summer, and she's already, you know, spending a lot of time with friends, which, you know, happens when you're 14. But I want to hold on to it as long as I can. Maybe that's why I haven't been here too. I just feel like time just goes fast. Was the movie called Phenomenon with John Travolta? I think it was. Do you remember that scene where the trees swaying in the wind? That scene, that's so peaceful to me, and I do that, and the trees are so, like, I'm just watching them through my window, and it's so peaceful, and it's so calming. Like, I just love trees. I wish I lived in a big field where I could just sit and just sway with the trees. My brain. I can't focus. Hey, did you guys notice I took the door off my closet? I don't know if that's aesthetically pleasing or not, but the closet door opened into my bedroom, and it just took up space. Like, I couldn't have anything in this corner if I wanted to have a mirror or a chair. Right now I have a chair here. And so I just took it off. And I mean, I keep my closet pretty neat and tidy, so it's just nice to have it off. Is that weird? Like, that your stuff is just to be seen and you can't close it away? But who comes up here? Nobody comes up here. I mean, you guys are here right now, but so what? Like, it's just a closet. I feel like it's okay. The big surprise here is that out of nowhere, I just decided that I wanted to cast on a sweater. I wanted something that I could wear in the springtime, and I better get my act together because spring is going to be here in a couple days, but the weather is still chilly. So anyway, I cast on the stripes sweater, and this I already had yarn for. I was gifted yarn by Red Stag Fiber Company. I showed you guys this a while ago, and that I did have plans for this sweater, but I finally casted it on. I was gifted 3 skeins of yarn from Red Stag Fiber. And the first one, this is his logo, Josh. And the first color is Purple Clover. And the next is Candlestick. And Antique Rose. And so I wanted 2 neutrals that I could put together with these 3 colors. And so I really tend to go to Hue Logo for my more tonal colors because I just feel like she has such a great selection. And she's here in the US. I really also enjoy a Homespun House, Molly's tonal colorways, but I just don't want to pay for the international shipping. So that is something that keeps me from ordering from her. And I just love her yarn. It's so wonderful to work with. But I ordered 2 tonals from Hue Logo, and the first one is Dove. This is her, if you're not familiar. This is Dove. And then the other neutral is Ash. So they're both shades of gray, but they are different, as you can see. And, oh boy. Let's see if I can hold them all up at the same time. And so I can't. I'll show you the sweater. This is what they look like all together. This is the sweater, and I have 1 sleeve completed, and all I have left is the other sleeve. Now, this, as you guys know, I'm a tight knitter, and this it fits me like just perfect, but it's a little on the short side. So I'm hoping that with blocking, it will loosen up a little bit, get a little bit cozier, get a little bit longer, but it's okay if it's cropped because I have high-waisted shorts and high-waisted pants that I can wear it with. So, and I can also wear a tank under, like a layering tank. Probably will wear a layering tank with it anyway because it is wool and my skin is sensitive, so I'll probably need to anyway, but it will soften up with blocking. So then after I tried this on, I've lost some weight, which I can talk about later. I think I talked a little bit about it in the January section of this, that I had some really dangerous lab results, blood test results when it comes to my cholesterol and heart disease, and it runs in the family, and there's no more cheating for me when it comes to my meals. A side effect of that is that the inflammation has gone down in my body drastically, and I have lost about 35 pounds so far. So this is going to fit me, which it wouldn't have several months ago, and I would have had to knit a different size. So after realizing that, if you guys remember, a long time ago, I was knitting the Felix Pullover, and I said, it doesn't fit me. Maybe I'll give it to my daughter. Maybe I'll frog it and then re-knit it as a short sleeve because I don't have enough yarn. And the yarn was, oh, what's her name? I don't remember. But I was going to frog this sweater, and it sat in my bottom drawer. It's been over a year, maybe longer, because I was going to frog it, but I didn't frog it. And so this is where my procrastination pays off, because now I'm a different size, and I think after I block this, I will be able to wear it again. And I am in the same exact place as I am with the stripes sweater. The whole sweater is done and 1 sleeve, and I just have 1 sleeve left. I just have to pick up for it and then finish it. And once it's blocked, I think it's gonna fit perfectly. So I'm really excited. I just have to finish those socks, knit a couple sleeves, and I have 3 finished objects. What's the problem? Like, just do it, Nicole. Easier said than done, but I'm going to. I'm not moving on to any new projects except a pair of socks. until this stuff is done, because I have not shared with you yet, but I'm sharing with you now. I have implemented a no yarn by year for myself. So I am not purchasing any yarn in the year of 2025, including Advent calendar. I will not be purchasing the Knotty Pine Fiber Company Advent calendar for 2025, not because I don't love her, but because I don't, I need to rein it in. I need to embrace minimalism again. As I've said many times before, it does not come naturally for me, but it is a tool that I need for my ADD, and that applies to all things: yarn, books, decor, clothing. And so, no yarn. I am not purchasing really anything that I don't need. So I'm making myself, in my bullet journal, make a list of needs and a list of wants, and if it doesn't fall under the need category, I have to think extremely long and hard about it before I purchase it. I have a dresser full of yarn. Like, I don't need to buy any more yarn. I truthfully could get through the whole year and probably another 2 years after that without purchasing yarn. And I'm knitting at a really slow pace, so there's no reason for me to buy yarn. I'm gonna finish the things that need to be finished. I'm going to truly frog the things that need to be frogged, and I'm going to work through my stash like a good girl. There. I've said it here, so now it must be true. This Battenberg blanket is beautiful. I'm gonna keep working on that. I'm gonna continue working on my stripes sweater. Hopefully I'm going to finish this soon because I want to wear it when this weather breaks. And then this is thicker. This is a Aran weight yarn, but I'm going to finish this as well so that it's ready for the fall, because it will be perfect for fall. The only thing about the sweater, and I am not doing anything about it because I'm just not, I did not alternate skeins when I knit the body. So there is, right there, see, this pooling that happened. But I don't feel like it's not gonna ruin the look for me. I'm gonna wear it anyway, and I'm gonna love it, and I'm just gonna go with it. It's a learning process. I know next time that I use hand-dyed yarn, I will alternate skeins, and I'm really proud of this. I'm so glad I didn't frog it. See, there are pros and cons to ADD, and this is a pro. Procrastination can be the thorn in my side, but also it could save some sweaters. These socks are almost done, and I need to move on because, to be honest, I'm truly sick of looking at this yarn. It has been months and months that I've been working on the same sock. It's the Hermione Everyday sock pattern. It is a free textured pattern, and I find that I don't knit as quickly when it comes to patterned socks. When I just have a stockinette sock to work on, I just knit right through it, and it's so much quicker. And I don't want to have to think anymore with my sock knitting, at least for a little bit. I'm sure I'll do another textured one in the future, but I need a break. So I am going to wind up another skein of yarn, and actually I'm going to keep this sock set together. A lot of times I break up the sock sets because I don't like the color that the dyer puts with it, but this is Coast to Coast Yarn Company in the colorway Pecan Pie, and this was a Pie Day sock set that was an impulsive purchase, and another thing that I want to keep myself from doing, but I'm glad I did in this instance because it's just beautiful, and I know I've showed you guys this before, but look at all the tones in there. So pretty. So I'm going to wind up this, and this is just going to be a stockinette sock. I might do a couple stripes in the leg with this mini. I don't know. We'll see what tickles my fancy, but this is going to be my next sock. So that's all I have to say about any of that. Books. I'm reading a lot of religious books right now. It is Lent for us. And many Christians, and so I'm taking a lot of time to read some spiritual books, devotionals, the Bible. So I'm not really reading anything secular right now to share with you, but after Easter, I'm sure I'll dive into something because I will be sitting on my patio the warmer that it gets, and I will either be knitting or reading out there or gardening. So I have a lot of things coming up in the spring to share with you guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope that I have some fun things to show you next time, and thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you coming back after this long break. I hope you guys are enjoying the weather as it gets warmer and warmer, and I will see you next time. Bye.